Good afternoon. We are at Ukraine Crisis Media Center, and the Community Spokespersons project now present the topic about decentralization, how to make communities' life better, and if people expect that someone comes and does something for them, these people are wrong. They should do it themselves. So self-government should be provided with proper resources and should be active. This is a joint project of UCMC and DOBRE project, and today we are speaking with Svitlana Spazheva, head of the Pokrovska consolidated community. So we are speaking about reform, and today there are different estimates and different interpretation of the reform. Your community was created in 2016, and we are interested what decentralization provided for your community, for the settlements that are included in your community. Thank you for this invitation. I represent Pokrovska, the consolidated community, and so we have 17,130 people in 31 settlements, and we have laborious, really active residents in our community, and I have great responsibility for the development of our community, and I should care about the residents, those residents who really need this care. And we were united in the second wave in 2016, and decentralization opened opportunities, additional opportunities for communities on planning, strategy, planning of the budget, local economic development, and taking transparent decisions. And today our community fully used these opportunities. And at the start of this way, in the conditions of decentralization, we asked a question: how to overcome passive attitude of people, how to help them join the work. And we formed an ambitious team who wanted to change the life in our community for the better. And we created a working group, and we started to carry out analysis and surveys. We collected statistical data in order to understand what our community is. And this team was of 30 people. We created a strategic plan, and I would like to thank Ukrainian Polish group and the support of DOBRE program. We did it together. This was a very interesting process, and we got a document, elaborated a document, and we understood that we are industrial and agricultural region that can develop its own economy, tourism, and it motivates us for further action. So Ukrainians, they have such mentality that they do not believe words much. So they want to touch this decentralization. So what are these real changes in the community? So there are changes in all spheres of life. Our main development is in agricultural sector. We used the experience of the territories that joined us. They had this self-organization. We studied the work of their cooperatives, and Molocharska and Dobrobut in Andriivka. So in Dobrobut Andriivka, this is a milk cooperative, 11 family farms, and more than 160 people who are employed there. So when we got independence, so employment reduced in the villages, and now we have these working places. And Molocharsky cooperative, this is the first in Ukraine. This is cooperative that provide training for people who want to create cooperative, and people come from all regions of Ukraine. We have delegations not only from our country but from abroad as well. So we studied this experience, and we created a council of economic development in the region. And the third cooperative, Medok, was registered. It deals with honey, and we have opportunities and conditions for this. So beekeepers united in organization, and these are 98 people, and they understand that they have the future in cooperative movement. So this will provide well-being to their families. So we have this cooperative now. We write business plan, and in our community we adopted a program to support cooperative movement, and we allocated 150,000 for refrigerators for Dobrobyt Andriivka Milk Cooperative. For us, decentralization is to involve more and more people and to change the conscience of the people. They should understand that life conditions depend on them and their region. And we understood that our young people have many creative ideas in order not to go to work abroad, because now if you stay in the village, you will have employment, education, healthcare, transport, and quality recreation. And can it be provided now? Yes, our young people got united into the committee. We invite them to the sessions in order that they understand what the highest body in our region can do. And young people joined us. Kanya Pralepa, Anya Zueva, these are the members of the Youth Council. Zhenya Tikhonov. I thank them for their active work. We have registered youth organization, and also there is a project, the creation of the third youth independent space based on our communal enterprise, Pokrovska Center of Recreation, and young people also participated in the contest. Green Patrol it is called, and they are the students of schools that are in the territory of our community, and they study, they monitor the situation, they held many actions. So through the language, through the hearts of young people, we can provide and change the conscience of older people. So young people join some actions, and then their parents joined, and they put this information on the internet, and many older people also joined the action. So you allocated 150,000 hryvnias to support the cooperative. Why didn't community do this before? So as of today, this milk cooperative, this is not big money for them. They have vehicles to transport their milk product and other equipment, and the sources of the budget, the process changed. This became possible due to financial decentralization, because now the budget is formed in such a way that 60% of income tax remain in community, and a single tax also remains, and customs tax and other taxes, and this broadened the opportunity of our communities. And before, communities could provide only the salaries, and now communities can develop economy of the communities, and it became possible due to decentralization process. Before our communication, I spoke with the organization that monitored the activity of the communities, and you implemented your budget 112%, and the proceeds per capita increased. And let's speak about services. We start with education. After unification, schools were provided into community property of our community. These are 5 schools and affiliates. So we have 8 educational institutions and 9 kindergartens. They were supported by the community, and so we didn't like the situation that was then, because money was not invested. I would like to give an example. Due to support from the oblast budget, we provided capital repairs of the base school. And after completion of the repair works, it will continue during 10 months. And after this, there will be only electronic address. This will be the institution of the new type, because everything is repaired. And we have support of from parents, and the repair works continues. We repair roofs, system of heating. We use all energy saving measures. And this year we allocated the funds 11 million hryvnias for energy efficiency. And how do you work with those settlements where there are schools and who do not understand the importance of the base school, that children are taken from this place near their house and they're brought somewhere? So how do you manage this aspect? This is not a simple stage, and this is not a simple task. As of today, I am deeply convinced that children who live in rural areas, they have the right for quality education in order to be competitive in the cities. So we should convince children and teachers, and we were able to bring children to base schools and to 3 main schools, and we convinced these parents that the base school has better conditions to provide quality education. And one school that was in the remote area from the base school, children of the 1st and 2nd and 5th grade and 9th grade, they study at base school. And this was not made forcefully by administrative measure. This was decision made by parents, and we convinced their parents. So this was not just empty words. We proposed to the parents to choose the institution, and also we provided some interesting events and excursions, good catering, a lot of attention to children. It was summer camp, and they stayed from 9 a.m. to 2 p.m. in our institution, and also we invited them to this institution, and the children, they chose the school, the base school, and we as authorities, we provided a new school bus in order to bring children to the school. And what about other institutions of education and other settlements? So there are schools in the settlements that in the Andriivsky Starostinski district. There are special complex for preschool children and children from 1st to 9th grade, and 180 pupils study there. Starostensky district, they also have a school where children study. Why I ask about this? Because they say that decentralization closes schools, and if there is no school, there won't be a village. And I ask whether it is true. So we should have children in villages, because if we have children, there will be schools. If the village is alive, there are children, there are schools, there are all necessary infrastructure objects. 31 settlement you have in your community, and I understand that there are villages where you have 9 or 30 people. How do you work to make these villages more alive? Speaking about local economic development, we plan such forms of employment of people as self-employment, and you said it correctly. Having these milk cooperatives, we understand how to develop local tourism, to show to the locals how, by having these cooperatives, by having a cow, for example, you can get some milk and to create, to produce some cheese or sour cream. And in Starostensky district, we developed the relevant program, and we want to provide our own resources and those opportunities of grants. Why it is important, and I continue to go around the topic of the residents of the community, because the people are the most important resource. Why it is important that the community be big? The number of population should be big. Why 3,000 or 4,000 is not enough for the capable community? The more the community is, the bigger the financial resources, because I said about the sources for the budget. So the main is land. This is the main good. This is one of the sources of taxation, and the more the community is, the more it has the opportunity to provide for the budget. And our budget in 2018 is more than 105 million hryvnias. And before we had the budget of our community, we have 24 million plus subvents. So 58 million we had previously. So your budget doubled, but we continue to work on the budget because the land outside the villages was not provided, and this is the reserve. And now there are preparatory works, and our land department found 149 land plots, and we see now how to increase our budget due to this land plots. So also we form we want to increase the proceeds to our budget because our needs also increase. So so these are the agricultural lands outside the settlements. So you should have proper territorial and spatial planning of the territories, and we deal on this issue. And in 2017, we elaborated a general plan. We have this master plan. Then we formed 13 investment land plots. We have the plan of investment development, of economic development of our community. And also I would like to add that when we worked on the local economic development, we saw that we have more than 1,000 household enterprises. People grow vegetables, and we invited specialists, and we saw that they have really high-quality products because people use the experience of previous generations, and now we work not only on the quality of grains and the plants, but also we work on the quality of land. So there should be a center to store and process and transport vegetables. So quality of vegetables from Pokrovska is of the highest quality, and so we have more than 1,000 of those who grow these vegetables. And I thank those businessmen who came and said that we want to cooperate because we see results. We want to join this action and to change our community. Gennady Barannikov with his son Maxim, who deal with this issue, Roman Logvinenko, Alexei Zakharchuk, Olga Krymova, Antonina Kurilenko. I can mention these people because it is really pleasant for me that this is not the choice of power, not our wish by administrative way to enforce, but this is the view of people of our community, and this is really pleasant. So it looks like you know the names of all 17,000 people in your community. So we said about the resources for development, about self-employment. A lot has been done in order to increase the quality of education and to bring this service closer to people. What about first level of healthcare? Here, the situation is more difficult because this issue is more painful. This reform is painful because during many years nothing changed, and now we have the center of primary health care. We signed the contract with National Healthcare Service, and now our doctors work according to new rules. So I met the doctor who signed the biggest number of declarations, and this is 1,800. And I asked Oleg, what are your impressions from reform? Did you like it? And he said that we started this process, and he now there are issues with collective agreement, but we support our first level of healthcare, and we allocated about 6 million hryvnias. This is for first and second level. This is for also including free medicines and free medicines from the state and local budget. We allocated money in order to support those who need help, and we have the program of support for vulnerable categories. We allocated more than 400,000 hryvnias for Chernobyl survivors and Afghan veterans and other vulnerable categories. And we understand that the level of average salary and pensions is not enough in order to feel comfortable in the reality of our life. So the heads of communities were on the trip to the United States. What were your impressions? And what did you see that you wanted, what experience you want to bring to your community? Roman Logvinenko also participated in this tour. So he is the head of the cooperative. So I wanted that our residents see this experience. We should move forward. And Roman saw a lot, and I'm really glad that by changing ourselves, we changed the community. And he, as businessman, felt it. And Roman came back and he said that we should create a public space. And he saw that in the United States, people really care about territorial development, and he ordered the bench, and other businessmen joined because he told them about his trip. Legislation in the U.S. differs from Ukrainian legislation, including tax code. We cannot compare. So you know that in the United States they pay taxes for any sale. In any case, the budget gets the money there. But I was impressed by other things. People are really active. Civil society organizations are also active, those who help the development of the community. So the street of 700 meters is the main street, and it earns money. And this was done by an NGO of 200 people. These are the architects, and they changed the view of the street. And we organized a meeting and provided this information to our people. So each of us, we should adhere to the law, and we should change ourselves. And by changing ourselves, we change the community. Now we create information center and public space, and our library is not just the storage for books. This is the place where community can meet, and our library in 2016 won in GIZ grant project, and now this premise was renewed. No new furniture was provided. There are special zones. We can meet with vulnerable categories of population there and provide help. We have sewing machines, we have washing machines, and computers, and the people can use this equipment in this facility. So decentralization changes conscious of people and conscious of local officials, right? How? An example. No, I would like you to tell more about it. So about the councils. So we have two councils. First, this was the cash office to provide the salary, and now this is the creative space where we speak with community members, where we have a lot of ideas and the opportunity to implement them in real life. And what will be in the future of your community, how to implement your dreams. So our community is like a small grain, and all our members, we try to form these powerful roots. And in the future, we want to have big branches of development, and our women are really active, and we have Women's Council, Youth Council, Sports Council, and women come, and we have separate room for women. We won in the contest. Women are empowered, and we had trainings for women, and our deputies also are trained, and we have 25 deputies, and we train 20 deputies in different cities of our country and abroad. And our deputies are they really like training, and they are taught how to take decisions, how to be efficient as deputy. And also we provide trainings for the members of the council, and we write the projects, and we celebrate our victories together, and we have bulletin through which we inform about the work of our community. And now we lack pages because we should broaden this edition. We have a lot of information, and there are a lot of small and big victories. In order that community change its conscious, for the first time this year, we established the participatory budget, and our community provided 12 projects, small budgets and big budgets, and there was active voting online. So first, this was formation of the project. Then they submitted it for the consideration of the committee that was created, and 12 projects were selected for voting. And people really were interested, and parents of young children created the project to create proper catering facility. And the 2 projects competed, and there was difference, 10 votes between them. And during the last 24 hours, parents of kindergarten children, they got this victory, and it shown that each can participate in the budget process, because 12 projects in the first year, this is really a big number. So you've said that the role of women is important in decentralization. The leader of one of the political forces, she said that decentralization is the bomb that will explode in some time. Can you reject this idea or support it? Is the centralization a threat? We become more conscious, more active, and we participate in the changes in the country. And I believe that reform of decentralization is one of the most successful reforms, because it's shown that we Ukrainians, we are educated, professional, and we really care, and we want to live in our country, not abroad. We want to earn here for our families. And when people say that children should live in a better future, I say that we and our children should live in the best country in the world. Thank you very much. And today we were speaking with Svitlana Spazheva, who is the head of the Pokrovska consolidated community.